If you're in B2B, you know the feeling. It seems like sending emails is getting harder and harder. That playbook that used to work like a charm for getting leads, yeah, it's starting to feel, well, broken. So today, we're going to dive into exactly why your B2B emails might be hitting a wall, and most importantly, what the new playbook for winning actually looks like.
It's so frustrating, right? You spend all this time crafting what you think is a fantastic message, you got the perfect list of people, you hit that send button, and then crickets, nothing. You're just sitting there wondering, did my email even make it? Is anyone even seeing this? If that sounds painfully familiar, trust me, you are not alone.
And here's the honest truth behind it. The entire way we've been taught to do B2B email outreach, the one built on buying a bunch of domains, automating everything, and just playing a numbers game, it's collapsing. And this isn't some small little tweak. It is a massive, fundamental shift in how the email world operates.
So first up, let's talk about this collapsing playbook. We're going to look at why the exact strategies that were getting you results just a couple of years ago are now actually getting you in trouble. Does this little four-step dance ring a bell? For years, this was pretty much the industry gospel. It was this mechanical, almost robotic process. The whole idea was to trick the inbox providers into thinking you were a legitimate sender. Buy, warm up, load the sequence, and then just blast it out. It was simple, and you know what? For a while, it totally worked. But here is the massive catch. The game has a new referee. Mailbox providers like Google and Microsoft have unleashed these incredibly sophisticated AI filters. And these are not your grandpa's spam filters. They can spot robotic sending schedules from a mile away. They can identify templated language. And, this is the real killer, they can see right through that fake artificial chatter that warm-up tools create. The system has learned all the old tricks. So if you can't game the system anymore, what are you supposed to do? Well, it's a complete mindset shift. We have to move away from all the clever little tricks and start doing the harder, but way more valuable work of earning a real, genuine reputation.
And what that really boils down to are the signals that you're sending out. The old signals, just pure sending volume and bot activity, those were easy to fake. But the new, authentic signals, that's what really matters now. Are actual human beings replying to your emails? Are they having good interactions with you? Are you following the rules? These are the things that build actual trust with inbox providers.
I absolutely love this quote. Think about it like this. Getting all your technical stuff right, your SPF, your DKM, that's like having a ticket to get into the concert. It gets you through the door. But your strategy, your creativity, your empathy, that's what actually earns you a front row seat and the permission to stay in the inbox. So how are these AI filters even making these calls? They're looking at something called behavioral fingerprints. Just think about it for a second. A real person doesn't send exactly 50 emails every single day at 9 a.m. on the dot. Our patterns are messy, they're variable. The way people engage with our emails is unique. And all these tiny little signals combine to create a distinct fingerprint that tells the AI, hey, this is a human, or nope, that's a robot. Okay, so we've established the old rules are toast. Let's talk about the new ones. What are the things that actually decide if your email lands in the primary inbox, gets shuffled off to the promotions tab, or just dies in the spam folder?
It is not just one thing anymore. It's this whole living, breathing ecosystem of signals. The AI is looking at absolutely everything. Are people replying? Is your writing actually good? Do you have a consistent history as a sender? Even when you send your emails matters now. It all gets combined to create this complete picture of you and your reputation. And this really brings us to a fork in the road, a clear choice between two different ways of thinking. You got the old, rigid playbook on one side, and on the other, you have what the source material calls the adaptive framework, a much more flexible, intelligent approach that's built for how things work now.
Let's break this down a bit. Look at domain strategy. The old way was to just buy a ton of domains and burn through them. The adaptive way, you build real equity in one trusted domain. For content, we're moving away from those basic templates with just a first name token, and we're moving towards messages that are driven by real research and are truly contextual. And finally, sending cadence. It's shifting from those fixed, robotic schedules to a more variable rhythm that actually looks like a human is behind the keyboard. And the shift just keeps going. With list building, we're moving from buying these old, stale databases to prospecting based on live signals that show someone is actually interested. Reputation is no longer about faking it with a warm-up tool, it's about earning it with real replies from real people. But here's the biggest difference of all. The old playbook was static. You said it and forgot it. The new framework? It's a living system. It actually learns and adapts over time.
Now, theory is all well and good, but let's look at how this actually works in the real world. This case study is about an AI startup that was totally stuck in that old model, and then they made the switch.
Their problems were just classic symptoms of that old playbook. They were leaning way too hard on warm-up tools, blasting out these generic one-size-fits-all emails, and working off of stale data. And the results? A pretty dismal 68% inbox placement. That means more than 30% of their emails were basically disappearing into thin air. Okay, but after switching to an adaptive framework, just look at this change. In only 8 weeks, their inbox placement rocketed up from 68% to 94%. That is a night and day difference, and it immediately boosted the visibility of everything they were sending. But hey, just getting seen is only half the battle. The real magic is right here. Because they were sending more relevant, more human messages, their average reply rate tripled, going from 4% all the way to 12%. This is proof that authentic outreach doesn't just get you in the inbox, it starts real conversations. And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. The bottom line business impact. Those higher reply rates, they led directly to a 37% increase in meetings booked. This wasn't just some email marketing win. This was a revenue win, plain and simple. So, if you only take one single thing away from all this, let it be this. The goal of B2B email today is no longer about sheer volume. It's about intelligence. It's about shifting from a static process of just sending stuff out to building a dynamic system that actually listens, learns, and gets smarter with every email. And that really leaves us with one last question for you to think about. I want you to take a really hard, honest look at your own email strategy. Is it just repeating these same old steps over and over, just hoping for a different result? Or is it actually built to learn from every single interaction? Because the answer to that question is going to define your success in 2026 and for years to come.